friends, as a long-term sponsor of the European Sunday Alliance, I'm proud to support the goal of ensuring the work-free Sunday.
I get in there, you're going to be using that power at a level that you've never used it before. It's the biggest thing missing. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country.
Hi everyone, I came across some information today that I really wanted to share with you. So I'm going to show you right now what we're looking at. And this comes from the Catholic Church in the European Union. So if we look here at the title, European Sunday Alliance issues new manifesto, promoting a work-free Sunday for all. In the view of the European Day for a Work-Free Sunday, 3rd of March, the European Sunday Alliance issues on Friday 1st, March 2024, a new manifesto stressing that synchronized resting time is an effective tool to counter loneliness and highlights its importance for the mental health of workers. Sounds all nice, but some of the...
So y'all know that Sunday is not the Sabbath. And I already did a video about where Sunday worship came from. I will attach the video to the end of this video if you have not seen it already. But this is the Mark of the Beast. It is getting ready to become official in Europe. And in the beginning of this video, you saw that Trump was talking about it. So, with all those people who thinking, oh, I'm going to vote for Trump, he's going to save the day. He ain't going to save the day. He got everybody food, just like Biden had everybody food. Both of them are ushering in the mark of the beast. They're playing their roles, doing their part to lay the infrastructure so that when the time comes and we are all going to have to make that decision, you will have to choose whether you're going to obey and worship the Pope, i.e. Catholic Church, i.e. Work-Free Sundays, or you're going to obey the Most High, the Creator. You're going to keep the Sabbath. You're going to rest on the seventh day. You're going to observe the Ten Commandments and all the feast days and holy days of the Old Testament and be persecuted. So it's as simple as that. It is on its way. And, this is something that we need to keep watch out for. They haven't really made any movements as of late. And so this just came out today, and I've seen very few people talking about it. So I wanted to share it with you all so that you can understand what's going on in Europe, because they're not talking about it here, although Trump was talking about it at a Christian, fundraising event. But I just want to remind you all that as Israelites, anything Christian to us should equate to crusade. And I'm not talking about a crusade where they put up the tent in the neighborhood and have church and Holy Ghost and act a fool. I'm talking about slaughter. So this is what's coming. And they're going to do it in the name of the Most High and think that they've done something good when they persecute us or they take our lives. So we have to be prepared, because with this mark, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. So this is what all this preparation is for.
Of the quotes we're going to read after this, because I want you to see the inner workings of what this means and how severe it means the situation actually is. But first, let's listen to the video.
Dear friends, as a long-term sponsor of the European Sunday Alliance, I'm proud to support the goal of ensuring the work-free Sunday. A synchronized week time of rest is very important in our fast-paced world. The work culture of modern society doesn't leave enough of time to enjoy with our loved ones. Children spend more and more time online. This not only affects their relationship with parents, grandparents and siblings, but also seriously impacts their development and mental health. Mental health of adults is at stake too. As a member of the Committee on Employment and Social Matters, I repeatedly call on better work-life balance and more quality time offline, time spent with family and friends. Therefore, on the occasion of the European Day for Work-Free Sunday, I encourage all stakeholders to jointly continue our efforts to turn the idea of a synchronized day of rest into reality. It is essential for well-being of all citizens and better functioning societies.
Okay, so it's just really emphasizing rest and family and all these things that seem really nice. But again, this is the Catholic Church in the European Union, and there is a manifesto promoting this. The Alliance is a broad network of more than 100 national Sunday alliances, trade unions, employers, organizations, civil society.
So you heard it. It's trade unions and employers involved. So you're going to be unable to avoid this because church and state are going to come together, and public and private sectors are going to come together and make it so. That's why all these people have been going to visit the Pope over the last couple of years, because they've been setting the stage for this to be the thing. This is the end game, and people are waking up. So they are doing what they can to hurry up and usher this stuff in. So you got to know what's going on.
Associations, churches, and religious communities in the European Union.
And as you can see, the Christian church is a part of it. So you think the Christian church here ain't going to be a part of it? All these churches that then fell back underneath had signed that alliance with the Pope. They're going to sign on to this. So they're going to lead a lot of people who go to church on Sunday to hell, to eternal damnation, the lake of fire, whatever you want to call it. They won't come out of these churches. They love them, no matter how much you tell them that they are not keeping the Sabbath. They will find an excuse to continue going. And so the time or the opportunity to come out is closing. The window is closing, and there's really nothing that we're going to be able to do about it except for watching horror.
So, what does this really mean? Well, we know from prophecy and all the things that we talk about on Amazing Discoveries that this is a very prophetic event. This isn't just about, purely work-free Sundays. So, I want to go right now to some quotes to get a little bit more context, and then I'm going to show you another very interesting clip. With darkness coming to light. So what I mean by that, darkness coming to light, is in this first quote, we're going to see something very interesting. God has revealed what is to take place in the last days. Well, that's very good news. God told us ahead of time that we will know what is going to happen. We just need to study. Well, let's see what's going to happen. That his people may be prepared to stand against the tempest of opposition and wrath. So there's going to be some strife. Those who have been warned of the events before them are not to sit in calm expectation. So we're not just supposed to sit back, wait for all the events to arrive, and do nothing about it. We're actually supposed to do something. in calm expectation of the coming storm. So this is referenced as a storm. And we know that Jesus referenced back to Noah's flood, the great storm that took over the whole world, and we're coming to another antitypical storm. Comforting themselves that the Lord will shelter his faithful ones in the day of trouble. So we just sit back. Oh, we know that Sunday law is coming. And yes, it's going to start as work, labor things, maybe climate change and all these different avenues. But we're just going to wait for it to happen. And, if we love Jesus, we're going to be okay. She's saying this is not the case. We are to be as men waiting for their Lord, not in idle expectancy, but in earnest work. With unwavering faith, it is no time now to allow our minds to be engrossed with things of minor importance. While men are sleeping, Satan is actively arranging matters so that the Lord's people may not have mercy or justice. The Son.
So while people are sleeping, while they are watching TV, while they are going to the movies, while they are surfing on social media, while they are going on vacation, while they are going out clubbing, watching sports, um, hanging out with friends, being idle, not doing anything to prepare for the day that comes when you cannot buy and you cannot sell, or the day that the sword comes, because the sword is also coming, or pestilences and plagues and famines. They're not preparing for any of those things. So when they come, something is going to catch them. It could be one of those things. It could be all of those things. It could be a couple of those things. But when you are asleep and not watching and not preparing, you're going to be caught off guard and unaware.
Sunday movement is now making its way in darkness. So this is coming through darkness. But if we're already seeing the tentacles spreading, if we're seeing these first stages, the initial stages that don't seem so religious necessarily on the front, that means that it's coming to light. And if it's coming to light, there's a lot more in the darkness that we don't see, and we're a lot farther along than we may think. The leaders are concealing the true issue. So they're putting it forth in, a not so uh, strong manner. And many who unite in the movement do not themselves see whither the undercurrent is tending. So there's going to be people going along that they don't even really understand what this whole movement is about. But that's why it is our job to warn these people.
So that's your mama, your grandma, and your friends and your neighbors, everybody you tell about, we're the Israelites. This is Mystery Babylon. Sunday is not the true Sabbath. You keep saying all these things and they don't listen. Those are the people who are going to be led. They're going to follow these folks, and they're going to not be able to get out, because you best believe they're tracking everything we say and everything we do. They know who's opposed. They know who's not. They know the majority of the people on earth are asleep, and they know there are very few of us who are awakened. Um, and for instance, you look at all the channels that are trying to tell the truth, trying to wake people up. They have so few people, but you look at all the channels that talk trash, talk about nothing, gossip, create division, spew hate, loaded with folks. This is how you know where people are And Christians, a lot of these people consider themselves Christians, but they're double minded. And I'm not saying that those of us who are awakened are perfect, but we are awakened. We know, we see the signs, we hear people talking, we're watching for the plans, and we are preparing. This is a season of preparation. Um, the 7 lean years are coming. The famine is coming. The plagues are coming. The storm is coming. The day of judgment, the day of wrath is coming. And so we got to get our hearts and minds right and get wisdom and knowledge and understanding so that we can avert this crusade that's coming against us. Some folks will go along with it and think it's a wonderful idea because they like words. They don't look at the actions. They don't remember the past of the beast. And so the beast is getting ready to reappear and eat people alive, but they won't know because they were not paying attention.
People. Its professions are mild and apparently Christian, so they seem good and beneficial. But when it shall speak, it will reveal the spirit of the dragon. Where does this come from? This comes from Revelation 13, where it says that this beast will speak like a dragon. It is our duty to do all in our power to avert the threatening danger. We are supposed to use all of our power in order to curb this movement. We should endeavor to disarm prejudice by placing ourselves in a proper light before the people. We should bring before them the real question at issue, the real question, thus interpreting the most effectual protest against measures to a strict liberty of conscience. We should search the scriptures and be able to give the reason for our faith, says the prophet. The wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. This was written.
Now, y'all know they say it was written 100 years ago, but it really was written thousands of years ago because the same information is in the Apocrypha, the books that were hidden, that they took out of the Torah and hid because they talked about the end times, the end of time, and what we were supposed to be doing. So, like, uh, Second Esdras 14, and I'm going to read to you 46 and 47. So it says, but keep the 70 last, that thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people. For to them in the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the stream of knowledge. And I did so. So all throughout Second Esdras, it talks about getting wisdom and understanding and being wise and getting knowledge. So this ain't nothing new. They try to act like, now, while they are speaking truth and towards the, about instances that will happen towards the end, you got to understand the people had access to information that we didn't have. So it makes them seem like they were prophets, where they had information, they had our instructions. So they're telling us, they're giving us back our stuff, the children of the corn. They're regurgitating stuff that they stole from us and then pretending like they're prophets. So this is why you have to be very careful about these times and seeing the deception in everything, unfortunately.
Over 100 years ago. God knows exactly what's coming. Even if, we'll go back to the other slide, it's making its way in darkness. God revealed this to us ahead of time so that we can prepare and that we can be warned. Because God doesn't let us go blindly. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. This is very interesting because it's comparing wicked from misunderstanding. And wise shall...
Right. And so this is why I say, we really have to reevaluate while we are upset with our family members and friends who refuse to see, um, and they continue to walk in the ways that they do. It's because they're wicked, and you can associate wicked with ignorant. They want to be ignorant. It was willful ignorance. You cannot shake them out of this ignorance. And so they're not going to understand what we're talking about. They won't understand what we see. They won't want to hear what we have to say. But we're wise and we understand. We understand where we are in time. And so we're acting and doing what we're supposed to do. Sorry about all the noise, y'all. I have my window up. Y'all know I like fresh air. So, in any event, the wise shall understand. We are getting knowledge, we are getting wisdom, we're doing what we can to try to navigate what's coming and to prepare for the sword, for the bad times, for the famine, for the pestilence.
understand. Use that word wise and say righteous. So you have the wicked, or those who are believing error, and you have the wise who are believing truth. And why are they either believing truth or error? Because are they studying or are they not studying? And are they following people and institutions or the Bible and God? They should work more earnestly to delay as long as possible the threatening calamity. If in our land of boasted freedom, a Protestant government should sacrifice every principle which enters into its constitution and propagate papal falsehood and delusion, well, may we plead, it is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. Some may think that because it has been revealed in prophecy that our nation shall restrict the conscience of men, it must surely come. And that if we make an effort to preserve our liberty, we shall be acting the part of unfaithful servants, and thus come under the condemnation of God. But this is not the case. Just because God said that eventually this will happen doesn't mean we are supposed to go along with it. Because we're not supposed to go along with error in any way. Even if God says that error will happen, we should not go along with it. God warns us that there will be false Christs, but that doesn't mean we should go along with them either. So we need to make sure that we are standing up and warning people about this. Now, I want to show you another very interesting clip, and then we're going to go back to a couple more quotes. Now, this was from NRB. This was in Nashville just 1 week ago. And we might go a little bit more in detail into this in another video. But I just want to show you this one short little part here showing how actually urgent and that all these things are taking place. It's happening so fast and everything's happening all at the same time. We need to be aware of the events.
You have such power, but you weren't allowed to use that power. and you're now allowed to use it. I get in there, you're going to be using that power at a level that you've never used it before. It's going to bring back the churchgoer. I mean, you have to see, I don't like the charts when I see charts where they're going in the wrong direction. We don't like that. We're going to bring it back.
So he says here, this power that you're going to have, and this is going to bring back the churchgoer. So just like in the quote, she said that it'll look Christian and it'll look positive. And this is what's happening here. But you're going to see.
I really believe it's the biggest thing missing from this country. It's the biggest thing missing. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country.
Okay. That's all I'm going to...
All right. So for those of y'all who think Trump is going to be your savior, he's just going to usher in the mark of the beast for you and for us. If you think being Christian is going to be good, when these white folks start up here talking about Christianity and having power, they talking about crusades. They're talking about the sword. They're going to be loud to come after you in the name of Jesus, in the name of Christ, in the name of God, and chop your head off, steal your food, put you in jail, put you in FEMA camps, do all kinds of stuff to you for refusing to not rest on Sunday. So I'll put a link to this in the description so that you can look at it. But this is a heads up. Y'all need to keep a lookout for this. This is going on in Europe. If it's spreading to Europe, it's coming here next. You already know it's coming here because Trump's talking about it. So it doesn't matter who the president is. Ain't no good guys. Everybody's on the same agenda. Everybody's doing the same thing. So just be ready and be ready to be persecuted should you make the decision not to take the mark, but to be sealed. All right. Like this video, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Keep those laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep the Sabbath. Make sure you're repenting. Make sure you are studying your word. If you do not have an apocrypha, I suggest that you get one because those are the missing books that they removed from the Bible or the Torah, and they have lots of end time nuggets that you should be paying attention to, specific words and instructions that are not in the Bible for this time. So, with that said, this is Marley K, and I'm out of here.